Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where we just rewrote how we're getting our our new world hex. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those and just say we're going off tile. Let's find a new tile. Now, one thing we do need to do that I just realized is we need to make sure that our other hex, because when we go off map, this is currently going to connect to the nearest hex to this point that is not our exclusionary hex. So, hypothetically, if we're looking at this, and say we're up over here, say we're up over here, and we're trying to go this direction, it's going to return either this hex or this hex that we're connected to. But we're going to be connected over here. So maybe what we need to be doing is having some sort of a method to find nearest entry point on other world hex. That would require a substantial overhaul. I think this is fine for now. Essentially, we would then run a check down here to say something along the lines of, if the distance how would we know this distance? Essentially, we'd want to run a check. Maybe I'll do this as a to-do. Run check to make sure that this world hex isn't too far away, so that we're properly connected. If it is, return no. There we go. Question marks are apparently hard. Excellent. Okay, let's try this. See how this goes. This is a completely different method of detecting what the nearest world hex is. And it might be slightly slower on the old generating front. It seems like it is. That's actually comparable. Okay, let's hop on in here. Once again, we are checking this guy. Bam. 25, 60, 27. So it's not connected up here. Try this guy. It's not connected. Let's try this guy. 7, 6, 7, 41, 466, 26, 26. Okay. Let's work off of that for now. So this is number 10. And we are connected to 6, 7, and 41. So that's 6. That's 7. This should be 41 then. Indeed it is. 466 is indeed this hex. So 466, 26, 26. So 26 should be the one up here. The building hex and the biome hex up here. And indeed it is. So when it generates it, it seems like it works. As far as what these guys are connected to, who knows? But I'm a little more concerned about this right now. So let's go ahead and purchase some land here. Let's buy this forest. We'll go ahead and demolish that. Create a route here, select our route. And I'm going to zoom out. And where are we? I think we were up here, maybe? No, we were down here, weren't we? The route is too small. I can't see it. Okay, let's figure out where we were. I really want to know. We were here. Gotcha. So we were up in here. That's what I thought. Here it is. You can just barely see it on this level, but out here it's almost invisible. You can still see it barely. Here it's basically invisible. Probably gonna have to have that increase in scale as you zoom out, but that's a job for another day. So we'll come on in here, and I just want to go here. But we're gonna need to go into edit route mode. Would you look at that? Incredible. Okay, so the question then is, why exactly do the ones up here not connect up? Because this worked just fine, which I like to see. In fact, it kind of worked amazingly fine. But what about this guy? Why is he not connected? What about this guy up here? He's connected to 417, 37, 37. That's correct. What about this guy over here? 367, 15, 15. So this one is the one we grabbed, right? That's hex index 32. And then this one is 15, correct? Yes. So that connected up to 367. And that's correct. Okay. What about this guy? He is not connected. This guy is not connected either. Nor is this guy. Now this isn't coming up as connected. Okay, so we can run a quick test here. However, I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit more clear, because we've definitely still got a little bit of weirdness going on. So I want to just go ahead and say, in the building hex, which doesn't appear to be up right now, in the building hex, we're just going to do this. I want to know exactly what everyone is. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and run this, because I want to know what everything is connected to. Every world, biome, and other hex. Building hex. That's the term I'm looking for. Oh boy, I'm 3 episodes into this session, and it's been a long day. It's 9:47 a.m. This is going to be exciting. But hey, we've made good, solid progress. It's now definitely grabbing the right ones when we're not going off map. When that happens, that could be a little bit exciting. But rather than hard coding it, I might end up doing the entry point system. Theoretically, that shouldn't be too hard, right? Hang on a moment. I just had an idea. And it's quite the idea. I'll show you what the idea is. The idea is, in the world hex, let's go into here. Where do we have our entry points set up as? Is that a list in here? I'm not sure. Let's find it. So when we generate our roads, which I believe is down here, yes it is, sub-hex manager.road entries. So that's in the building hexes. Road entries. And it's a building hex. We can use that to our advantage. If we go into our hex manager here, we actually wouldn't need this. We still need this function because we can utilize it in a public... what are we going to want to return here? Are we going to want to return a int3, a building? I think we want to return an int3. Get nearest entry point. Vector 3 position. World hex exclusion. So what this is going to do is returns the nearest entry point to position as an int3, excluding the world hex passed in. Okay, so our world hex that we're in here is going to be very simply get nearest world hex exclusion. And then we pass in position exclusion. Okay. Then we can go through our list in here. And, well, first I want to do float nearest dist equals mathf.infinity. And then int3 nearest equals int3.null for now. And then we can just iterate through in the sub hex manager, which I believe is now named the building manager, the building hex manager. Building hex manager dot road entries. Now, of course, this isn't how we're going to use it. We want to do for int I equals 0, I is less than this dot count, I++. We just want to iterate through this list and find out which one is closest to position, the position that we passed in here. But then down here, we just want to return nearest. So now we want to run a quick check if position minus building hex manager dot road entries I. This is going to need to be a get building hex position. No. That's a building hex. We're not going to want to do it this way. We're going to want to grab this position slightly differently with get building hex position, and we want to pass in the int3. So we want to pass in the new int3. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make us an int3 here. int3 current equals new int3, and we're going to be doing world hex dot hex index, and then we are going to be, let's see, we need to know what biome hex a particular building hex is in when we don't necessarily have it selected. World hex dot hex index, the biome hex, I mean, for now, we could just do this. Yeah, we can just do that for now. Okay, I need to think about what's actually happening here. And it is time to put a cut in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to get my thoughts straight on how this method is going to work. Next episode, we will get this method finished up, and we're going to use this get nearest entry point method instead. And it's going to be awesome. See you all then.